Then Officer Radius appeared, and honestly, that man looked exhausted on a spiritual level. Tall, dark circles under his eyes, coffee cup still in hand, face completely drained of hope. He looked like life had personally bullied him for years. Ralston stared at me silently for a second. Then his eyes moved towards my phone, towards the live stream, towards the viewer count. 120,000 people watching. And I realized this poor man realized his shift just became indefinitely worse. Are you live streaming right now? Now listen, there are moments in life where honestly becomes dangerous. This was one of them. So naturally, I answered, technically, Radis slowly closed his eyes, took the deepest, most exhausted sigh I've ever heard from another human being. Then he said, "Of course you are." Behind him, officers rushed underground, carrying flashlights and weapons like police radios are crackling everywhere. The entire street looked chaotic. Meanwhile, I was standing there like a raccoon accidentally involved in a federal crime. I tried smiling awkwardly. So, funny story, Radis interrupt immediately. No, not tell me later, not go ahead, just no. Honestly, fair enough. Meanwhile, Chat was absolutely losing their mind. He got arrested. This scream is peak. Free my bro. Viewer count 200,000. And I'm not proud of this because I couldn't help it. 200,000 viewers. I have never seen numbers like that in my life. For comparison, earlier that same night, I was celebrating having 7 viewers. Now, hundreds of thousands of people were watching me standing beside office cars looking criminal. And the worst part of me was excited. I looked at the viewer count in complete disbelief. 200,000 people are watching me. Radis noticed it immediately, and the expression he gave me, pure disappointment. You are way too calm right now. And honestly, I understood why he said that. Because normal people probably panic after discovering secret underground surveillance room and getting surrounded by police. Meanwhile, I was mentally calculating subscriber growth. So I answered honestly, I literally never had this many viewers before. Radis just stared at me, completely speechless, like his brain genuinely stopped functioning for a second. And then, finally, he sighed again and muttered, I hate this internet. Honestly, that was the exact moment we became friends. Not close friends, more like one exhausted man unfortunately keep encountering the same disaster human repeatedly. After that whole underground disaster, the station got locked down immediately. Police tape everywhere, news van pulling up, random people recording from across the street like this was free entertainment, which technically it was. Meanwhile, I was sitting on the curb looking like a wet raccoon while another officer checked my student ID. My hoodie was still dirty from underground water. My shoes were soaked. My dignity had left hours ago. And standing nearby was Officer Radish, holding what looked like the saddest cup of coffee I ever seen. I'm convinced that man survived this entirely through cafeteria and disappointment. He stared at me for a long time before finally speaking. So let me understand this. That sentence alone already sounds dangerous. Then he pointed towards the underground station behind us. You randomly entered an abandoned station. I immediately knew I was to sound guilty no matter what happened next. Then he continued, found a hidden underground surveillance room, still bad. Then he pointed directly at my phone whilst live streaming to 200,000 people. Okay, listen. When you hear the story from my side, it sounds unfortunate. When he said it out loud, I'll sound like the main villain of a cybercrime document. So naturally, I defended myself. When you explain it, I sound criminal. Radhi stared at me with the most exhausted expression imaginable. You are suspicious. Honestly, fair point. Still, I pointed dramatically at myself. I'm broke, not evil. And I meant that sincerely. There's a difference. One gets you arrested, the other gets you instant noodles for dinner 6 nights a week. Nearby officers started emerging from the underground carrying back equipment, bag, and talking rapidly inside radios. Then one officer walked quietly over and whispered something quietly to Radis, and the second Radis' expression changed from annoying cop to serious cop. My soul immediately became uncomfortable. I looked at him nervously. That's not good, is it? Radis looked back towards me. You're lucky this stream recorded everything. I blinked. Wait, I'm not getting arrested. That was genuinely shocking information. Radis sighed like the universe personally hated him. Unfortunately for me, no. The relief I felt in that moment, unmatched. Oh God, thank you. Then Radis immediately pointed at me like a disappointed father. But if I see you near another underground disaster, I interrupt instantly. It was one disaster. And the universe heard me say that and apparently took it personally because right after I said it, another officer shouted from nearby, Sir, we found more rooms underground. The entire atmosphere changed again instantly. Everybody looked serious. Meanwhile, my curiosity activated immediately because yes, fear is normal, but curiosity is stronger. So I slowly started standing up, trying to look casual while secretly attempting to move closer. And Radis noticed immediately. That man had the reflex of a traumatized babysitter. Before I could take 2 steps, he grabbed the back of my hoodie and motioned me mid stop. Just stood there daggily, emotionally. Oh man. Radis didn't even look at me. No. I weakly point towards the underground entrance. But what if there's more weird stuff? Big mistake. Radis turned slowly towards me with pure disappointment in his eyes. That's exactly why you are leaving right now. And honestly, that hurt because he was absolutely right. A few hours later, I was finally walking home alone through quiet streets while my phone vibrated non-stop in my hand, notifications everywhere, new followers, donation, trendy clips, interview requests. At first, I genuinely thought my phone was malfunctioning. The notifications wouldn't stop. Every few seconds, another donation, another follower, another message. So I stopped walking under a street light and stared at my screen. Follower count 250,000. I actually froze. What? I refreshed the page 3 times because there's no way that number belongs to me. Then I opened social media. Big mistake. Clips from my stream were everywhere. College streamer finds secret underground room. Disaster streamer goes viral. Who is the tunnel streamer? Tunnel streamer. That was the name people gave me, which honestly sounds cooler than my real life deserves. And for the first time in the night, I actually smiled. Not fake smiling for content, real smiling. I'm actually trending. That sentence felt illegal coming out from my mouth because yesterday nobody cared if I streamed. Now, random people online were making edits of me nearly dying. The internet is terrifying. Back inside my room, everything looked the same. Same messy room, same flickering lights, same noodle cup, but somehow the room felt different now, alive. My phone wouldn't stop lighting up. Messages, donation, followers. I sat down at my desk, staring at the donation total, thousands of dollars, not hundred, thousands. And for a second, everything went quiet in my head. My rent is paid. Listen, if you've been genuinely broke before, you will understand how magical these 4 words felt. My rent is paid. I jumped
out my chair so fast I accidentally kicked an empty noodle cup across the room like I just won a championship. The cup flew dramatically into the wall while I celebrate alone at 3 in the morning like an idiot. And honestly, best moment of my life. The next day, I started another stream immediately. This time, I actually cleaned my room first. Better lighting, less depression, slightly more confident. I clicked start stream and instantly 40,000 viewers. I stared at the number. Why are this many people here already? The chat moved so fast it looked broken. Go find another secret base, cause more problem. Where's the police guy? That last one killed me. People were already fans of Radis. Meanwhile, I point accusingly at the chat. You people treat my suffering like Netflix. Then a donation appeared on screen. $500. Go explore another abandoned place. And suddenly I went quiet because $500 is a life changing when your bank account actually looks like it's a cry for help. So I sat down in my chair thinking deeply. How abandoned are we talking? And that sentence ruined my future because after that, everything escalated fast. Suddenly, I was exploring abandoned warehouses, clawing through tiny underground spaces while questioning my tuition fees. I paid tuition for this. I explored storm drains with freezing water up to my ankles. I accidentally discovered an illegal gaming room once. The people inside screamed and ran like I was the police. Meanwhile, I stood there holding a flashlight, looking confused. I need better hobbies. And somehow, I kept triggering alarms. Every place had alarms. Why? 1 second, everything would be normal. Then suddenly, red lights, loud sirens, chaos. At one point, I literally screamed, why does everything have alarms? And every single time, police arrived. And every single time, Officer Radi somehow ended up being involved. Police cars pulled up. Another abandoned incident. Radi stepped out already looking tired before he even saw me. Then his eyes landed on me live streaming nearby. Long silence, pure disappointment. You. I slowly looked at him. Hi again. That man looked seconds away from retirement. Meanwhile, my clips kept spreading online. Fan edits, memes, reactions, videos. People started calling me the disaster streamer, and honestly, that nickname was painfully accurate. Soon, people on campus started recognizing me too. Students walk past me whispering, Yo, that's him. Somebody even asked for a selfie once. A selfie. Meanwhile, I was standing there confused because from my perspective, I wasn't famous. I was just unluckily professional. I literally just fell into dangerous situations. But then, things started getting weird again. Actually weird. One night, I was alone in my dorm, reviewing old stream footage. Rain outside, dark room, quiet atmosphere. I was rewatching clips from the underground station incident when I noticed something strange. Small glitches, static flashes, tiny distortion appearing right before every major discovery. At first, I thought it was bad internet. Then I replayed the footage again and again, and suddenly I saw it. Right before I discovered the hidden abandoned room, a strange symbol flashed briefly on screen just for a second. I paused the video immediately and leaned closer to my laptop. That wasn't there before. And then, like the universe heard me, my live streaming app started glitching again. The screen flickered violently, starkly filled the display. Then coordinates appeared, unknown coordinates, just sitting there on my screen, and then they disappeared. I stared silently at my laptop for 10 full seconds, then leaned slowly back in my chair. Nope, absolutely not. I was done, finished, retired. Unfortunately, my phone vibrated. The same coordinates appeared, this time staying longer, and at that exact moment, viewer notifications started appearing too. When are you going to stream again? I stared at the corner dates, then at my donation total, then at the rent notice still pinned beside my bed because apparently I never removed emotional trauma decorations. And eventually I sighed deeply. I hate being poor. That night, I found myself walking through another industrial area while live streaming again. Half a million viewers instantly joined. Half a million. At this point, my bad decisions had officially became national entertainment. I looked directly at the camera while walking towards some giant abandoned industry building. Okay, new rule. The building ahead looked terrifying. Broken windows, rusted fence, dark clouds overhead, like evil itself paid rent there. I kept walking anyways. If anything explodes tonight, then I pointed drastically towards the Shots. I'm blaming all of you. Shots immediately started spamming. This is gonna be bad. Call Radis now. Bro never learns. And honestly, those comments were completely valid. Inside the building, everything felt unnaturally silent. My flashlight beam moved across old machines covered in dust. No wind, no sounds, nothing. Then suddenly, my live stream glitched violently again, light flickering, static noise everywhere. I lowered my flashlight and that's where I heard it. A mechanic sound nearby. Then slowly, a hidden elevator door opened by itself in the darkness. I just stared at it blankly. Absolutely not. No hesitation, no curiosity, no investigation. Absolutely not. And then Shad betrayed me immediately. Go in, do it, content. I looked at my screen in complete disbelief. You people are demons.